holdings. And we are a homegrown brand. We always look at ways to promote the country, promote the destination. And we saw a great opportunity bringing in an artist like Alpha to Sri Lanka is going to put us on the map once again, I think, and for Cinnamon Hotels and Resorts, we have beautiful locations all around the island. And we are very glad that Alpha is visiting a few of our locations around the island. Cinnamon Grand Hotel, we are very glad that we are able to host him here. He arrived very early in the morning and he looks fresh for an early arrival, I think. So we look forward for a great event. You will be seeing us at the stadium. Our team will be there to take care of your hospitality needs at the and we wish to see a lot of people because once again, Vinod, thank you very much taking the initiative to bring an international art to Sri Lanka at this caliber. So we look forward to seeing all of you. Thank you very much once again, Alpha. Welcome to Sri Lanka again. Enjoy your stay in Sri Lanka. Enjoy your stay with Cinnamon and the trip with Cinnamon Hotels.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kamal. And to add a little footnote to that, how this all came about, my involvement, Kamal Singh's involvement, everything was through another voice that Sri Lanka has, a singer who is famous in her own right and is the Sri Lankan superstar. There she is sitting out there, her name is Umara Sindumansa, and she's the one who put this jigsaw puzzle together. Let's give her a big hand, ladies and gentlemen, for everything that she's been doing. And now to get on with it, the world needs to know what we're doing. So it's useless as sitting here without having somebody to publicize what we're doing. And to do that, Buddhi Vikramanayaka, Chief Operating Officer of NBC Networks, stepped up to the task, and he'd like to say a few words to us as well.
Thank you, Imran. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to welcome Mr. Alpha Blondy. I'm your biggest fan, as well as talking about the reggae music in Sri Lanka. We have a huge fan base in Sri Lanka as pioneers in the radio industry. Yes, 101. We have had many concerts across the island, and this is something big for us, and we are so excited to be a part of this. And I would like to thank Vinod and the Big Blast event, and also to everyone who's giving us the support in this show, especially to Cinnamon Hotels. Well, we discussed this event about 3 months ago. Vinod told me, I'm bringing down Alpha Blondy. I was like, what? I was so excited to hear this, and I was waiting to break this news to our audience, to our listener base. Immediately we read the news. We had a huge feedback from the audience, and we are so precious to have you, Alpha. And let's enjoy the country together. We as a media partner, we will promote this event for you to enjoy Sri Lanka. Thank you.
Thank you, Buddhi. I promise to keep this short and sweet, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to hear from the star of the show. And we have to thank him for coming down here, for being with us, and we hope that he will enjoy the Cinnamon experience, not only at the Cinnamon Grand in Colombo, but everywhere in Sri Lanka that he travels. But I'd like to now hand over the mic to him and let Alpha Blondy say it in his own words.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you very, very much to the organizers and the promoters. And thank you for the people who are receiving us here in Colombo. We were overwhelmed. We were spoiled by the quality of the reception. And to be sincere, this is my very first time to be received in such a beautiful, warm atmosphere. Thank you very much for your kindness. Thank you for the honor. And me and my band, we're gonna have to work hard to satisfy the people of Colombo and Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka and I is a very long story. In 2002, I think, or 3, I was on my way going to Australia for a concert. After 11 hours of flight, we made a stopover in Colombo, and I love the name Colombo. It reminds me of this American movie, Inspector Colombo. And we spent a stopover for 2 hours at the airport. And during those 2 hours, my musician and I, we went shopping. And I got this. And I got this. Okay? And for some reason, I wrote my name on it. And I want you to see, sorry. Okay? So, sometimes God does things that we do not understand. So, today, here I am in Colombo. Okay? So I can say, thank you, God. Thank you for making this possible. And talking about my knee, I got hurt in Venezuela, okay? Because after the show, I wanted to shake hands, and there was a barrier, and I'm so naive. My knees, hit the barrier and broke something in it. But it was painful until when we got back to Paris, and my veterinarian, my doctor took care of my needs. We went to surgery. So the knee is okay. That's why I came without my, yeah. Okay. I came without that, to tell people that don't worry, it's rock and roll. We are used to go through those kind of challenge. Okay, the show gonna be great. My musicians are very excited, and I personally, I was so excited to come to Sri Lanka. I asked my mother-in-law, because when I said I'm going to Sri Lanka, she said, oh, Sri Lanka, voila, I have to see it. I said, okay, I will manage for you to come. My sister-in-law said, how can you go to Sri Lanka without me? Okay. So my son Abraham is 6. So I said, we're gonna do 2 things. Have some good time with the concert, and after I'm gonna turn myself to be a tourist and discover beautiful Sri Lanka. Thank you, people of Sri Lanka. You are a divine family. Thank God to have made this possible. May He help us succeed in that concert. May He help us stick our links, okay, for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alpha Blondy. Those were the words of a true entertainer, a passionate performer, and I'm sure he's going to show you what he can do out there on the stage on the 19th. And now, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, keeping it short and sweet, if you have any questions or anything you'd like to know from Alpha Blondy or any of the gentlemen seated at this table, you're welcome to ask them now.
You were speaking about Wuhan 2002 and 2003, and that was your very first experience, and that you said you had about Sri Lanka. Now, before that, had you heard of us at all? And hang on, just a minute.
If I
I said, before 2003 or 2002, as you said, that you came to Sri Lanka at that time. Now, is it your very first experience that you had with us? And before that, had you heard of this small island that we call Sri Lanka?
Well, I used to buy some Indian clothes in Paris. I love them because, it's very ceremonial. And in my philosophy, every day that God gives us to live is a celebration day. So I love those costumes about a lot. Okay, so I knew that, but I also heard in the news about what was happening. Okay, but I'm from the Ivory Coast in West Africa, so political problems, we have it. Okay, in every country's history, there is those kind of small things, but that do not stop the time. Okay, peace is a divine must, and every country have to overcome those problems to go forward. The future have more positivity for us than the challenge that God puts on our road. Every human being have to face the challenge that God put on his road. Every nation have to face the challenge that God put on our road. But he gave us also the energy, the positive energy to solve those problems, those tasks, those challenges.
You spoke about...
Did I answer?
One more. Two more questions, please.
Okay, please.
The next question is, you spoke about your political problems. Now, have those political problems affected your music? And if so, how bad has it been for you, or how good has it been for you?
We are inspired by everything that happened around us, and especially in countries like mine, Ivory Coast, Africa, the continent. We are the champion of all problems. Okay, so as a singer, you have to mention those problems. You have to criticize. But what I do, my strategy is to make constructive critics, because nobody wants to do wrong. So if wrong happen, if we can see how the politicians can treat some problems for us to criticize. But what would we do if we were at their position? It's like sometimes you're watching a football game. You're sitting comfortably in front of your TV or in the stadium, and you criticize the players, but you are not in the field. Okay, we say, do not judge the way somebody walk if you are not in his shoes. So thank you. My way of talking about our problems back home is to give ideas. I'm not a politician, but I like to give ideas. Maybe my idea could help, but there is one thing life have taught me. Peace is a divine must. In peace, there is hope for everybody. But without peace, who gonna respect the human rights? That's why in our countries we have to do everything to preserve peace. Peace. Because within peace, anybody can dream, anybody can hope. And life sometimes, is a process of hope. So my job is to give love because God that created us is a God of love and a God of peace. And we are in a mission. Every one of us here is in a divine mission. And our missions are complementary. I'm a singer, he's a promoter. Without him, nobody sees my ugly face. Okay? And he's the promoter. Without the sound engineer, nobody hears the sound. Okay? He's a promoter, I'm a singer. Without the plane that took us here, nobody would see my ugly face. So, we are all linked somehow. And this is our mission. Our mission is to preach love, peace, because that's what God wants us to do. Okay? So small problems in countries, every country have problem, even America. They have a big problem, Donald Trump. So every country have a problem. But the bottom line is that life goes on, and we have managed to go on the positive side of life.
One last question.
Yes.
Have you been influenced?
Where?
Have you been influenced by Western music, or is it essentially only African music?
Oh, no. When we were young and beautiful, we used to have a rock and roll band, okay? We used to listen to also James Brown, okay? Otis Redding, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, okay? We are open, my generation is open to all kind of good music, by the way, okay? When I was studying in America, I had the chance to go see Ravi Shankar concert in New York. Okay, I am in love with every beautiful kind of music. Music, how do you say? Music is a medication for me. Music, okay, is frequencies that heals my pain, frequencies that touch places in me that even me don't know. So I am open to all kind of music. Maybe I will meet some musicians in Sri Lanka. I might need somebody who play, how do you call it, the guitar of Ravi Shankar, sitar. Okay, if I have an excellent sitar player, I would like to get in touch with him because in my next album, I may send him the files for him to do a solo of sitar. Yeah.
A message of love and peace, a message through music, and the music goes on through the voice of Alpha Blondy. Let's hear it for Alpha Blondy, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to now invite you for some refreshments, and I'm sure if he's still here, you'd like to ask him anything on a one-to-one basis, you're more than welcome. Buddhi Vitwanayaka from MBC Networks has a small presentation to make to Alpha Blondy, and if we can do that now.